Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Fifakill, as you know, and today what I have for you is episode 4 of my 100 plus series. And in case you didn't know what that is, basically I just have to go through every single map in Black Ops 3 and get 100 plus on each and every single map. I did decide to include all of the new DLC maps, as they're pretty good and I believe I could definitely get 100 kills on them. So that's the deal with this series. Also, as you know, I play a lot of Nuketown, and I have a lot of Nuketown gameplay saved up, and I'm slowly moving through them, but I don't want my channel just to be solely Nuketown, so I'm trying to make it so I do maybe a normal map, then a Nuketown, or a couple normal maps, and then a couple Nuketowns, or something like that. But I'm just trying to mix it up a little, and I think I've been doing pretty good with the diversity of everything. But yeah, we're just going to keep that going. But I thought if I am going to do a Nuketown gameplay, it's going to be something special, and yeah, I thought just a normal 100 plus wouldn't cut it, because I get 100 pluses on Nuketown all the time. There's been times where I've had 100 pluses constantly for 4 hours straight, so I wanted to make it a big score. And yeah, also a lot of you will know that I have had many 200 pluses. For example, the 269 kill game I got in a 2-man, where it could have easily been 300, but one that's been on other people's channels, and two was upplaying. But the point of this gameplay is it's 208 kills on Domination, so you only get the 2 rounds, which I thought was pretty good. And it does mean the gameplay is quite fast paced, because it's a shorter game and the spawns are a little bit weirder, to say the least. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in this gameplay. I'm also quickly going to run through the class setup if you're interested in that, and there's a couple other things I'm going to talk about. For example, how to get gameplays like this, what I'm doing for 20k, just stuff like that. So basically, the class I'm running right now is a Weevil with grip, fast mags, and rapid fire. I find rapid fire to be really good in the Weevil. I use grip on everything, and then fast mags, that's just because obviously I'm running the spawns a lot, so I'm going to need that fast mag just to get the reloads in quickly and kill people. As you'll see in the gameplay, I have to reload like a lot because I'm killing so many people off the spawn. You just got to be fast paced, and also rapid fire helps with that, because you're getting off more bullets quickly, so you're killing people faster, which is definitely a big factor in getting gameplays like this, which I'll run through when I talk about more how to get the gameplays. I don't want to go into it too much right now. As always, I'm not running secondary, tactical, or lethal grenades. For perk 1, I'm running afterburner, as you guys know. Pretty much same class as always, just with a different gun. Afterburner, which helps you jump more, and just helps me with my movement, which is also a big part of getting gameplays like this. Overclock to help me get my specialist, another big part. Scavenger, not as much of a big part, as I do die quite frequently, because obviously I'm in the spawn, they're all spawning all over me. There's not really much I can do half the time if I do die, but it does come in pretty clutch in points. And tactical mask, which I'm not sure it played that much of a big part in this gameplay in particular, because they weren't really throwing too many stuns from what I remember. But across the board, definitely a great perk to have, because just in case if they were throwing stuns, it could have ruined this whole gameplay. So it's always good just to have that backup to make sure that nothing's gonna go wrong, as like a force field. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, so how to get gameplays like this? This is a question I get asked time and time again, and I've never really explained it, because I'd never thought about it. I just kind of played, and because I've been playing for so many years, it became muscle memory to me, and I just did it without thinking about it. If I got a gameplay, I didn't go into the game thinking I'm gonna get this gameplay right now. I went into the game thinking I'm gonna play, I'm gonna do my best like I always do, and then if I come out with the gameplay, that's always a good thing. But because I got asked it so much, I thought it'd be good to cover it. So I thought about it, and I broke it down into a science. So basically, one of the main factors in going for a 200 plus gameplay is definitely where you position yourself, and when. A big part of it is you do spawn quite far away, especially on this game where they try and control the spawns. You spawn quite far away, so being able to get to the other spawn as fast as possible is definitely a big factor. Can definitely help you an absolute ton, because if you're taking ages to get into the spawn, which is where you get maybe 80% of all your kills in the total gameplay, and it takes you so long to get there, and you also run the risk of dying on the way or whilst you're there after one kill, that's definitely a big problem. So getting to the enemy spawn can be a big thing, especially at the beginning of the game. That's definitely when you want to be getting a good start, because a good start is everything. You want to be getting your streaks early on, because once you get your first set of streaks, you can just keep rolling them. So definitely moving into the enemy spawn as fast as you can is definitely good, and getting behind the enemies in that initial burst when everyone's just running off, they're all trying to get to B or do whatever they want to do. Definitely just, yeah. And as you'll see, I usually G-slide to that wall. They have removed the G-slide. It's still possible, but it's a lot harder now. So that's definitely not a method I would advise relying on. And they'll probably remove that soon as well. So my alternative to that is what I did prior to learning how to G-slide, which is Afterburner. If you do not already, or you have never, and you've never used it, I beg that you use Afterburner. It is so good. It is an amazing perk. If you don't know what it does, it replenishes your boost faster, allowing you to jump more and do all of that crazy stuff. As you'll see in all my gameplays, I jump an absolute ton, I wall run a ton, and I really make the most of the movement system in this game, and you can't really do that without Afterburner, and it comes in handy in so many situations. For example, getting off the spawn quickly, you can fly onto a wall, and then fly from wall to wall, just goes really fast, because it's definitely faster than running, obviously, and also helps you win gunfights. You'll see a lot of the time I jump up just to either confuse the enemies where I'm at, or just to win a gunfight as like a really extreme version of a jump shot. So Afterburner is always helpful. And positioning, like I said, you'll see a lot of the time, instead of just running through the spawn, I'll be next to the spawn so that they run out and they don't expect it, but they'll get killed from behind. That's also another big thing. And one of the main things, definitely, about going for a gameplay like this is staying alive and where to be. So if you die, it takes up so much time, like I said, to get from your spawn into the enemy team spawn again. And so you don't want to die, because if you die, I'd say maybe you lose between 5 and 10 kills, and that seems very extreme, but it's so true, because you waste so much time that you could be spending, and you'll see at points in this game where I'll just get multi-kills after multi-kills, and if I'm running from my spawn to the enemy spawn again, then I'm wasting time that I could be getting multi-kills. So definitely try and stay alive. That is a big part, and haters really help with that. If you have a hater up, then it's a lot easier to not die, because you know where they're coming, where they're looking, and it makes gun battles a lot more predictable, so you can win. But try not to die as much as you can, and also definitely take the straightforward route to the spawn. If you can run in a straight line and just get straight there, that's obviously better because it's faster, but that's not always the best way of doing it. Speed is not always the method. Sometimes you got to take a little bit of an alternative route, and maybe even a longer route, just to get there without being shot, because like I said, getting killed does take up so much time. So if there's someone sitting in a window and that's like your direct route to the enemy spawn, maybe just take a little detour around the side, take a wall run around the back of the map or something like that, just to keep yourself alive and not die to that camper. Definitely a big part. Another big part, as I began touching on a little while ago, the specialist. You'll see in this gameplay, I get so many feeds and so many kills with my scythe. Definitely a big play. You want to be using the scythe or the firebreak or things of that nature. I would suggest the scythe because it has long range. The purifier is great when you're in the spawn, but sometimes when you're trying to break an area of the map, or you're trying to kill someone long distance because the flip spawn or something like that, the purifier is not always the best. And also the purifier, it's unreliable. You can hit someone and yes, they're gonna die, but you can't control when they're going to die. Whereas the scythe, it's just like using a normal gun, but really overpowered. You know when they're dead, and you can keep shooting them until they die. So there's a lot more choice, and it's a lot more safe and secure and definite with what you're doing with it. So obviously that's a big part, but at least use a lethal specialist. I don't think a gameplay like this would be anywhere near as easy using something like perhaps the combat focus or the vision pulse, because they're not lethal, they're not getting you extra kills. Because my average kills with the scythe, I'd say, is between 8 and 10, which is a crazy amount if you think about it, to get that many kills every single time you pull it out. And you get it a lot if you use overclock. Like that's my whole point. You get your specialist faster, and if you're getting 10 kills per scythe with overclock and you're getting it really frequently, that can definitely play a big part and help you out an absolute ton. So definitely run that, and especially in a game where you're spawn trapping or getting 200 kills like this, you're going to be earning them even faster and spawn killing with them, so you're going to be getting even more kills. It's just one thing plays towards another one. So definitely use overclock. Scavenger, not so important. It can help, but that's really your choice. If there's another thing you want in your class that's really important to your playstyle, or that you would much prefer, then you can afford to drop out Scavenger. It's not too important, but there's a couple times in this game where you'll see I do run out bullets in the spawn. That does get me killed, like I said, wasting a lot of time, or there'll be times where I do manage to pick up those Scavenger packs and it'll come in clutch for me. So that's really your choice and your playstyle. And finally, Tactical Mask, I mean, you don't really need that. It's that's more of an optional reinforcement kind of thing. So yeah, don't really worry about that. Also, another thing about these 200 plus is you can't really afford to camp, and you want to be spending as much time in the spawn as possible. So if you're sitting back, definitely try not to do that. Don't be worried about dying too much. I know I've said a lot about trying not to die, but you don't want to be worried about it all the time, so you're sitting back, head glitching everything, playing super slow until you get in the spawn, because if you do take a lot of time to get there, that's wasting time for one, and then if you then get in the spawn and die again, then you've wasted so much of your time. And a 200 plus on Domination is such... You need to play the game so perfectly to get something like that. You can't afford to mess up. If you do mess up, then just try again, but you're going to need to play it perfectly, and you're not going to get it if you play slow, obviously, because it's a really fast-paced gameplay, and if you get a 200 plus in Domination, that's just how it's going to be. So yeah, another big factor of getting these gameplays is streaks, and so yeah, streaks are definitely a big play, and also a very important choice. People say, oh, you should run Raps, Wraith, and things of that nature, but that's not always the case. I find that Raps can be somewhat of a negative if you're going for a high kill gameplay, because if they're getting spawn killed by Raps, or just the thought of Raps in general. If the enemy team hit enemy Raps incoming, or every time they spawn they see a mountain of balls that anyway coming at them, then they're going to be a lot more inclined to leave the game. And if you're playing against a lesser amount of enemies, that can definitely be a big problem, because you're killing them off the spawn, so even one less enemy can cost you a lot of kills. So I'm not sure Raps is necessarily the best thing. I found that the GI unit is really effective. It gets a lot of kills, and it doesn't make them back out as much, because it's just like playing against an extra player, which isn't that bad, honestly. So I would suggest that. The Hater, obviously, you're going to be running the spawns, so you're going to be getting most of the kills and most of the points, so you're going to be pretty much the only one on your team getting Haters, so that's definitely something you need to run. You could substitute that out and let a teammate maybe get some more kills for a Hater, but at the same time, then you're losing out on time and kills. And finally, the Talon. The Talon does make a lot of clutch plays. That's the other streak I would suggest using, because if you're in the spawn, you need to reload, or there's someone going to kill you, the Talon can come in clutch and kill someone for you, and it is very good. And it also doesn't tend to make people back out as much, and can also make enemies use rocket launchers. That's not always the best thing, but if you run into a spawn and everybody's focused on killing your Talon, then you get so many free kills, and it could just be really beneficial for you. So those are the streak setup I would advise using if I were to go for a gameplay like this. That's pretty much all I can think about in terms of going for a gameplay like this. There's not really much else in particular that you can really do as a player. I mean, obviously you're going to need fast reaction time, good aim, and things like that, because that's just what comes in any gameplay, but especially in this type of gameplay, reaction time's key. If you're in the spawn, and then you're constantly going to be under pressure to kill lots of enemies at a time, so you got to be fast reacting, and aim's obviously important, because you're going to have 3 or 4 enemies coming at you at once, so you're going to need to be able to kill one and go straight on to the next. But don't be stingy with bullets, which is why Scavenger can also be helpful. So don't, for example, think that you're going to run out bullets, or you don't want to waste your mag because there's more enemies coming, because as you'll see, I fire a lot of bullets. You just want to get as many bullets out as you can just to make sure that enemy's dead, because you can't be affording to die over and over again to silly things. So definitely don't be afraid to aim and kill. So your aim doesn't have to be perfect, just don't be too conservative. Anyway, we're coming up on 14 minutes now. It's a super long commentary, as it is a long gameplay. But I hope you did enjoy the gameplay. 200 plus on Domination. Earlier today, I uploaded my 16 on Rice, so I hope you like that. More DLC gameplays will be coming out soon, and also more of this series. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop a like in the video if you did. Drop a comment letting me know what you would like to see from my channel in the future. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We're coming up on 20k, so thanks for that, and I'll see you in the next video.